This is Leilani Mitchell, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Threes and made it tight in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, Ali made some really big shots for him, got him back into the game, and we left her open, and she made him, and just had some little breakdowns at the wrong time, but we had some really good looks down the other end that we just missed. So it was just make some misses near the end, but I think that definitely changed momentum.
Sandy, to your right.
Alex Simon from the next. Sandy, you guys are up 72-65, and then there's not another basket you guys make. It's just the Diana 2 free throws. There's a lot of layups at the rim. Just, you can't afford to miss those in a game like this, can you?
Yeah, I mean, no, but they tried hard. You're not gonna. We had some really good looks. Diana had really good looks. We just missed them. Which is unfortunate. It'd been nice to be going back to a game 5 now, but it's not going to happen this year. And we're right there. Like I said, we couldn't score. Momentum totally changed, but we had some pretty easy looks, and just didn't go. It wasn't our night.
And then, especially given the fact that you guys finally fought through the first round, the second round, it got through the semis to the first finals. Did that maybe even make this sting a little more, knowing just how close it seems like you guys were?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be saying, they're champions. They came from 6, one spot below us. It's hard to make the WNBA finals. It's really hard. People think, you should do it every single year. But it's really hard, and things need to happen at the right time. And, we found some great chemistry, and we fought really hard. We won our first, we had some close games in the early rounds, but we had so much belief in, each other and ourselves, and that helped. And it's fun being in the finals. It's been a few years for us. We have to remember that feeling, how hard we worked to get here, and pass it forward.
Sandy's second row to your left.
For Diana specifically, it'd been 7 years since she had been here. She obviously battled through an ankle and a foot injury to get here. Does, your team relies so much on her, she gives so much, they give so much to her. Does it hurt knowing what it took for her to get to this point, and knowing that at 39 that there are no guarantees about getting back?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Diana's been getting injections just to play. That shows a lot about her toughness. She's going to need some time off now to heal the foot. One of the toughest players. We wouldn't be here without her. We know that. And I think it's just like Chicago when they got healthy too. They're a pretty deep team, but, so proud of Diana. She fought back and no training. And she played as hard as she could, really proud of her, but, all the team too. And, obviously there's a lot of disappointment in our locker room, as there should be, but, I'm proud of how hard we worked just to get here.
Sandy, front row to your left.
Hi, Sandy. Tough loss, obviously, but what can you say about the Sky? What was it in the end that really turned the momentum for your team? What can you tell us about that?
Well, Ali Quigley.
Yeah.
That changed the momentum big time. Just making shots. I think they're veteran, just like us. We're a very veteran team. They've got a very savvy point guard. They got a shooter. Copper, we contained her tonight. We left Candace open one time, and then she shoots a 3. Ali, we know what Ali's going to do. Some miscommunication, shoots a 3, and then Dawson comes in and hurts them. They're used to. They've played with each other for a long time. Even though this is her first year. I mean, she's a very intelligent basketball player and was able to fit in very nicely with this team.
Our next question will come from Zoom. We're going to begin with Mark Carlisle. Mark, go ahead.
Sandy, I'm just wondering, is there some bittersweetness to this? Obviously, you guys were hoping to win this series, but to have your husband be a part of the winning team, what is that like for you guys? And have you had a chance to speak with him since the final buzzer?
No, I gave him a hug after the game. I mean, of course, I'm happy for him, but I'm sad for us. So I'd rather win. I'd rather go back to game 5 and let the best team win. But no, I'm pissed. But I'll be happy for him in a few days.
Next question will come from Nove. Nove, you'll be followed by Trinia.
Hey, Coach Rondello. My question for you is, what do you think the turning point was in that fourth quarter?
Ali Quigley. We were right there, and their defense went to another level. They were getting in passing lanes. They were trapping BG. We still got some really good looks, layups. We missed them, and they made them. But, I think Ali, it really just changed the momentum with some of their mates. They got a little closer, and this is a team that executes well down the stretch as well. You got man of Sloot with the ball when you got a Quigley off the ball, and obviously Dawson coming in there, and she made some big shots for him as just with the screen and roll to the basket. But I think Ali really changed the momentum of the game there, and we just missed a few and didn't. Maybe if we made a few of them, would be a way more happier press conference, wouldn't it?
Thank you.
Next question will come from Trinia, and then we
Yes.
turn to the room.
Thank you. Hey, Coach. Trinia Barbie with Anointed Radio. Last series against the Aces, you guys found yourself in a similar situation, but you were down. Today, you guys are up. Besides Quigley, do you think you guys went away from what was working?
Well, not really. We're still trying to get the ball into BG. They were just trapping her. That was it. We got the ball into the right people's hand. It was Diana, Sky. Her defense, she was right on cue today. Like, she's had a great season for us, and they're both first team WNBA, so it says a lot about what they did for this team and how they carried us, especially with Diana being out for half of the season. So proud of them. But BG, I just think she continues to get better and better. It's just been fun to watch her development, not just as a scorer, passer, shooter, leader. And, the experience that we have, like, bringing Sky in, we've developed more chemistry now. And that kind of, when you got three superstars, I think they know how to play with each other, and they led us for all season long. So, I'm proud of him. Obviously, his disappointment, but that has to motivate us as we move forward.
Sandy, second row to your left.
What will you miss most about coaching this team?
I love coaching this team. That's why I say this is, one of the best teams. You always remember the last one, but I just love their chemistry, off the court, and, they spend a lot of time off the court. Enjoyed each other. I like that. They come and there's a lot of laughter at practice. We know when we need to lock in, but there's a lot of, making fun of each other. In that you like being around people, you can go to work and they enjoy being around each other because it makes your job a little bit easier as well. So I'll miss. They're competitive. It doesn't mean it's always smooth sailing. But that's, I think we handle those things, and I think we grew in our chemistry as the season progressed.
Last two questions. We're going to go to Rafiq. Rafiq, go ahead. Rafiq, you will be followed by Fago.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports Talk. Although your team did come short and win the WNBA championship, how grateful are you that you were able to coach the Phoenix Mercury back to the WNBA finals for the first time in 7 years?
Yeah, that's the plan at the start of the year, is trying to get us back to the WNBA finals. And, you need a lot of good things to happen. I always say it's the team that's the most healthiest, and they're peaking at the right time and have the best chemistry. And I think those two teams, it was Phoenix and Chicago by the end. It's hard to get back here. And, obviously I won it in 2014. We were close in 2018. We finally made it again here, and, it's a lot of hard work and that goes into it, but I thoroughly enjoy the challenge of it. And I love coaching, obviously in this league, but especially with the Phoenix Mercury. I think it's a great organization, and it's one big family.
Appreciate your insight and have a good off season.
Thank you.
Our last question will come from Fago.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? I know this team had to overcome a lot of obstacles this season. What does it mean to you to see all the growth within all your players this year?
Oh, it means a lot. Obviously we went for a bit of a losing streak in the beginning too, just Dinah being out, that's a big piece of it, but trying to integrate new players into it and find our identity and, being able to, play together a little bit better than what we, had started. And it was just great to see how, just it's all about buy-in, isn't it? They want it so bad, but sometimes like we're buying in, we're working really hard and just the growth over the whole year. It was fun for me. And, it wasn't always perfect, but I think that's where you learn the most. And, I've just enjoyed just how all the pieces came together and enjoyed the successes and the failures. I mean, by staying together. They're the easy teams to coach.
Sandy, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
To our media, we'll be joined by James Wade in just a moment. Everybody, we'll be joined by James Wade in just a moment. And once again, a reminder, our players, Phoenix will have Skylar Diggins-Smith, Brittany Griner, and Diana Taurasi. Chicago will have Kahleah Copper, Candace Parker, Allie Quigley, and Courtney Sloot. And we'll begin right away with James. James, second row center, please.
I don't make an opening statement.
James, you may make an opening statement.
All right. So my mom always told me, she was like, be humble, be humble. All right. And I want to respond to that with, Mom, cut off the YouTube because I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in. Oh my gosh, I live for this day. Go ahead. I got
Coach,
you.
Congratulations, first and foremost. Can you just speak to the resiliency of this team, especially in the second half of this game, making that run and doing what was necessary to get the victory?
We stayed together. It was, I guess it was a microcosm of our season, where you go down, and you keep pushing. All right. Crowd was quiet, but they were in it and they were trying to give us energy. And every little thing we did, they gave us more energy and we fed off of it, but we stayed together. And by the end of it, once we made one basket, two basket, the crowd took over. Our players stayed together and they kept going. And you started to see who we were. It was a great moment because I never doubted for a minute that we were going to win that game. It was all a matter of when will we take the lead. And once we got the lead, I knew we would be fine.
James, third row to your right.
James, when I interviewed you when you first started with the Sky 3 years ago, you told me about how you needed to get everybody to believe in the system.
Yeah.
3 years later, how has getting them to believe in the system gotten you here?
That's a great question. Just me knowing what this team had, believing in every single person and knowing who our staff was and what they had and to bring and just knowing the game and being around winners all my life.
All right, we've got 4 questions lined up from the room. We're going to start second row left.
Hey, James, Jackie Powell with Bleacher Report. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could take me through that fourth quarter, especially when Azare fouled out. What did you make of how your other posts stepped up and responded?
She didn't foul out.
Or when you took her out?
When I took her out. I took her out. She had 5 fouls. And, Steph, we said it from the Connecticut series. I told Steph that you're going to be big for us in this next series. So I need you to stay ready. And she was ready. And she gave us some good, valuable minutes. And she leaned on BG a lot throughout the game. And so BG didn't have the same legs in the fourth quarter as she did in the first 3 quarters. And I don't know that that participated to her missing shots, but it definitely helped us out that she was an extra body that made it hard for her to get around, and her catches were a little more difficult. So, I mean, they have a great team over there. So we just want to make it as difficult as possible and just keep on, pushing, and not look for home run plays. And I think that's what we did.
James, front row to your right.
Annie Constable, Chicago Sun-Times. James, Courtney is the longest tenured player with the Sky. She was drafted here in 2011, and this is a moment she's been fighting for her entire career. She said she wanted to win a championship with the team that drafted her.
Right.
To share this moment with her, given all of your guys' experiences overseas, here in Chicago, what is this moment for the both of you?
It's a special moment. The embrace that we had, because when the first time I met with Sloot, when getting a job, we met in a cafe, and I was like, we're gonna get a championship. Like, don't worry, we're gonna get a championship. And so we went into detail of how we're gonna do it. And I was just trying to get her to believe. I didn't know how we were gonna do it, but I was just trying to get her to believe. And I knew that was the first step. But if there's one thing I've learned in my life, living in this body for 46 years, I'll never count me out. And I will not be outworked. So if it was somebody that can do it, I felt like I was going to put us in the situation to do it. So, but honestly, I didn't know we were going to win it when we were going to win it, but we were going to win one. So voila.
James, center, third row.
Do you recall times just being in this arena and looking in the crowd and not seeing too many people and thinking, just even envisioning a time like this?
Well, since I got here, I think after the first 3 games, we used to have okay crowd. Nothing like this, but I think it was more so in Rosemont, and we had a pretty good record in 2019. And so I think in the second half of the season, we started having more fans. And this year, of course, we started off with COVID restrictions, so it wasn't a lot of people. And as the time came, we started, getting more and more fans. But the playoffs is nothing I've ever seen, and this has been amazing. And you can tell Chicago that they're behind us 100%, and you felt the energy, you actually feel the energy. And now, this is how you make household names in your city. People are going to go around, they're going to know who Sloot is, they're going to know who Kai is, and they already know who Candace is. But it's so many stories out there on the floor that are unique and that represent Chicago and what they mean to the city and what the city means to them. And so I just want those stories to be told, but winning a championship helps those stories to be told.
Guys, we have about time for about 3 more questions from the room, and then we need to get to some folks on Zoom. James, center in row 4.
Hey, Coach. Going back to the game real fast, Allie Quigley just came alive in the second half. It wasn't even just the shooting. It's like what you've talked about before about the gravity of her pulling defenders off and freeing up someone like Steph in the last minute of the game. Can you just speak to the importance of Allie coming alive after she kind of struggled in the first couple of games of the series?
Well, the odds are in our favor. And for every off shooting game that she has, the next game is potentially going to be an explosive game. You never see a shooter like that stay cold. And the fact that we were winning games while she was cold, it made me feel good. So we don't have to mess with her or tell her anything. She's a perfectionist, so she's going to correct herself and she's going to keep on working. And it was a special moment to have her do it here in DePaul's shared space, and surreal.
James, also the center, 4th row.
Coach Chris Pennant. I normally ask you about an X's and O's type question, but
I know we won tonight. You know that, right?
I do.
Wasn't was it you said a 6-7 point game or something like that? Oh, that was the last game. Yeah, the game we won by 36. Go ahead.
Last year, I think you opened up about your life experience more than you had since we started covering the team in the context of the world at large. can you put this into perspective, not as a coach, but as a Black man from Memphis?
It's tough, man. Y'all try to make me cry a lot. Not gonna do it. Look, I had my family come, like I had my cousins, and I had a lot of Memphis people come to the game. I had one of my high school teammates who I haven't seen in 28 years, I guess, since high school, came to the game, and college teammates, and it's big to do something in this space when, and I'm just going to keep it real, I've always had to prove my intelligence, always. And so how do you do that? You do that through hard work. And they say, okay, he's a hard worker, but the hard work gets your intelligence in the room. So once you work hard, people start to listen to you. And I understand that. And I've understood that from an early age, that, you know, I have to be different, or not just different, just be visible and represent good visibility instead of, what's the word? Routine or what the visibility that they try to put on us, you know? And so it's important. It's been important, and it's going to always be important. And it's not just for my son. It's for every young Black kid that comes up behind me that you prejudge because they have their pants down or they have their hat on backwards, you know? And you know what? And since I said that, why don't I put my hat on backwards and, you know, and just represent that, you know? But never judge a book by its cover. I'm not perfect by no means, but I'm always trying to do the right thing, and it has nothing to do with my color. Has nothing to do with that at all, or has nothing to do with the fact that I say every 3 words, you know. It's just the way I am. And I know the game of basketball, and I know what it takes to be a champion, and here we are.
All right, we're going to turn to Zoom. We're going to try for about 4 or 5 questions if we can. If our Phoenix players arrive, we will just have James step down. We're going to start first with Chantel Jennings, and Chantel will be followed by Michelle.
Hey, James. It looked like Dan Hughes was seated kind of across from your guys' bench today. I'm just curious what it meant to you to have him here for this game specifically, and if you had a chance to talk to him after the game.
Yeah, we had a warm embrace. Dan was the first person who Dan was the first person that told me that I was going to be a great head coach, and I thought he was crazy as shit. I didn't believe him. Me and my wife laughed at the idea, and then my wife said, maybe he sees something in you that you don't see, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. So to have somebody, especially a middle-aged white man who doesn't look nothing like you, doesn't come from your experiences, to say, hey, look, I believe in you. I thought I was going to be an intern for him for 3 years, and he hired me as an assistant after the first year, and I have no idea why he did that. And like he's an amazing man, and I don't think he'll get enough credit. He changed my life. He absolutely changed my life, and I'm forever indebted to him. So it's not an accident that a lot of his assistants are great head coaches, because he's someone that's going to always open it up to, you know, open up his wisdom to sharing and teaching you the right way. And so I appreciated he was here, and it's going to mean something for me as much as my family was here. I needed him to be here today. All right, no more sympathetic questions, y'all.
Our next question, not a sympathetic one, will come from Michelle Smith. Michelle, you're going to be followed by Charles Hallman.
Thanks for that setup, Ron. Coach, congratulations. I want to ask you about faith for a minute. You talked about that conversation you had with Sloot, where you said you wanted her to believe. You didn't know exactly how you were going to get it done, but you wanted her to believe. But Sloot and Allie have stayed here for a long time when other people left. because they had some kind of faith. Candace seems like she came here because she had faith in your vision. You guys had your faith tested at a few points this season. Can you just address what it meant to sort of keep the faith with this team and all of the different ways that it meant that this year?
So now I can talk about how I grew up. I had no choice. I had no choice. You got to have faith or you die. You're born behind the 8 ball. And so you put that into all your experiences and you show them how it's going to be done. So faith is a big key for me. Faith is something you can't see. You just got to believe it. It's something I can't explain. It's just in me. And you give it to them and you sound crazy enough that they believe it. And when I got the job in 2018, I still remember saying that we were going to win a championship. No idea how. We were coming off a team that was 10th place and no playoffs. And you couldn't have told anybody after we finishing in 6th that we were going to be the champions. And we did it because we believed, and we probably did something that no other team has ever done. We just changed who we were because we wanted to change, and we decided to change. And here we are.
Next question will come from Charles Holman.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, what's up, Charles?
I'm doing very much. Congratulations again. Please comment if you can. You are the first Black coach to win a WNBA title on one team as an assistant, and you won, obviously, today as a head coach. And you've been talking about significance. So that is also significant. If you could speak on that, please.
I'm not the first. I mean, Corey Gaines did it.
But on the same team, you've been on 2 different teams.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you. I just wanted to give a shout out to Corey, but I don't know. Cheryl, she gave me like the blueprint to winning, and I kind of just stole her cheat code. That's all, and that's it. That's it. We haven't started yet, have we? Hey, you guys are holding up our party. So
yes,
everybody's waiting on me.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we are waiting for the general manager so we can celebrate.
Yeah. So sorry guys. I got the MVP telling me I got to get out, and she'll tell you the story about the cafe one day.
I'll tell y'all.
We fooled y'all. We knew Kyle was going to be MVP. Y'all just didn't know it.
He said it first.
Congratulations.
Kahleah,
guys.
If you'll take the center seat, Kahleah, take the center seat, please.
She has to take media too.
Right now?
All right, guys, here we go. We're going to.
No, I'm coming back.
No, Kahleah, we need to get it done. We have people who got to get it done. No, we need your players next. Winning is a good problem.
No cookies.
Winning
I
is a
want
good
champagne.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, I should've never came. And I'm sorry, y'all. Annie first. Sorry. That one day she held us down. That's loyalty.
Ka, you just shared that moment with James. You guys said you knew you were going to be MVP. To actually be awarded that trophy, what is the feeling that you're experiencing?
I'm just feeling this sense of just reward, just my process and everything. I'm just so grateful that I have these teammates, that I have the coaching staff that like genuinely believes in me and just gives me the confidence no matter what's going on out there on the floor. So I just appreciate everybody, every single person on our team, every single person on our staff, everybody, Maggie, who helps us with literally everything and who does everything for us. It's those people. It's Maggie, it's Sean, it's all of them. They don't get enough credit for every single thing that they do, and the little things are stretching me extra. Like those people really make the difference, and they make this thing go, and that's why we got that trophy.
Philly, stand up. First off, congratulations. Can you take me through last year in the bubble? You said you focused on yourself and you really got into, knowing who Kahleah Copper was. Take me through that timeline between last year and where you're at currently today, and what is this moment?
I have this edginess and this grittiness about me that's going to keep me going. I think it was very important for me to be consistent, starting with last year, having a breakout season, as you call it. But it was about coming in this year and, being consistent and actually being better than I was last year. So I think that was just important for me. I think I never lost the confidence in myself. I just continued to, put the work in, and it's no secret to it. It's so cliche, but it's you put the work in and you get rewarded.
Next question will come from the third row to your right.
Kahleah, 3 years ago when James started, he said his biggest task was getting you all to believe, and that would get you to this point. What did he do to get you to believe, and how do you think that helped get you here?
I think this season was so up and down. We bump heads. It's like it's a real relationship. And in the moment, you're super frustrated. But I think that it was important for us to grow together, and bump heads in that process, everybody. So I just thank the coaching staff for continuously pushing us. And, it was frustrating, but we got through it and we won a championship. Thank you.
Next question will come from the fourth row to your left, Kahleah.
Hey, Cock. Well, first off, congratulations. Just kind of going off of that last question, was there a moment where you doubted this team at all heading into the playoffs, even though you had 3 all-stars, the best shooter in the world in Ali and so on?
I think, first of all, you said it, the best shooter. But you know what? Rewind. I'm glad you said that. I knew we were going to win this championship yesterday when Ali was the only one in the gym shooting. We came in for film. Everybody was gone. We knew we didn't have shooter around. Ali was the only person in the gym shooting. At that moment, I knew we were going to win the championship. But I think, when the playoffs started, we gave ourselves a clean slate. We totally forgot about the regular season, didn't care about seeding. We knew that we just needed to treat every single game like a single elimination game. And I was glad that we got to play those single elimination games and feel that pressure because, once we got to a series, we already knew what it takes. And I'm just so proud of this team and how we had a short-term memory on forgetting the regular season, which was very important, and just coming in the playoffs and completely killing.
Kahleah, we have a bunch of questions from the back of the room. Start in the fourth row center, please.
I'm trying to get out to enjoy also.
This is.
We need
Michael, we need to finish this, please, if you don't mind.
How long is it going to take? They're waiting. The whole team's waiting. Let them have their celebration. I know this. Come on, let her go.
Appreciate it.
Hey guys.
Wasn't long enough.
Mike. We're going to begin right away. Front row to your right.
Candace and Ka, I thought coming out in the introductions before the game even started, you looked at Ka and it looked like you said, I promise or promise. And I wonder if you could share like what you guys connected on in that moment.
I think throughout the playoffs, like we realized like how important these two are. And it's a lot, Game 4 at home. We always text each other in the morning, like before games. And I just wanted to make sure her mental was right. And then right before the game, we always check in. So that was just a normal thing. We've done that all season. Today was no different. And I think everybody showed up in the moments that they needed to.
Next question, front row to your left. I'm sorry, Kareem, go ahead.
Sorry, I wasn't sure.
I'm sorry, my bad.
My bad.
Oh my gosh.
This is for you, Candace. You were able to kind of dribble out the clock. You sprint to the corner. Can you kind of just share some of your thoughts like in that moment as the clock ticks off?
She got her champagne.
Yeah, we got to scoot over for Allie. Oh, wait, we'll scoot to the left. She can sit by her wife.
Always late to the party.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll wait for we'll wait for the shooter. It's okay. We'll wait.
I already talked about you.
Wait for the shooter. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I had flashbacks from high school when I first realized like we won the state championship, and it was kind of like similar. I don't know. It was amazing to just hug my dad and my mom and my family, and I don't know. It's just an amazing feeling to be from here and see so many people in the stands that have been supporting you since you started. Like I sent Allie a picture this morning of us when we were in high school, and it was like, man, not bad for two suburban kids, right? Like playing in the WNBA finals together. So I think it's just a moment where you just have to really take it in. And so that's what that was.
Next question, center row 3.
Just to follow up on that, Candace, real quick. Did you know you were going to like run, try to find your family right after, or did it occur to you when you got the ball? And then, sorry, I'm going to sneak in one for Courtney. Courtney, just like memories of playing out at Allstate Arena, kind of a dark, empty arena a lot of the times, and to be here, if you can reflect on those days versus now. Sorry to sneak in too.
Yeah. I'll go first. Well, I can go back even further, when we did end up going to the finals and we played at UIC because our arena wasn't there. I mean, it was a great environment then, but it doesn't come close to what it was tonight, absolutely unmatched out there. Just the energy, the adrenaline that this crowd was able to give us when we really needed it. It was so special to be able to do this in front of all those people. Especially a special shout out to the ones that have been there on the ride, the ones that, I see a couple right here in front of me that when we weren't even making the playoffs and they're still courtside, that's special. But this crowd was so important tonight. And, this one's for the city for sure.
Next question, second row center.
Ladies, Courtney, Allie, Kahleah, what does it mean now that you'll be known as a WNBA champion?
I mean, that's what you work for, right? That's why we're here. All those times where you're just like, man, is it worth it?
You know what? Y'all remember Olympic break? Do y'all remember Olympic break? Olympic break.
It's just so crazy what we've been through. No one knows.
Nobody knows.
I'm so happy like we did this for each other. Like we had kind of like a breaking point probably a month ago. And I feel like we all looked at each other and we said like, who are we going to play for? And Candace, the first thing she said was she was going to play for me. And it was just like, just so inspiring that she wanted me to win a championship so bad. And it just made me want to play harder. And everybody went around and said who they're playing for. And in the end, we all wanted to play for each other. And that's what you saw tonight in this whole playoff experience.
Next question, second row to your left. And just everybody, we have about 8 questions more coming from the room, so be patient. We will get to you. Second row left.
Hi, Jackie Petro.
Or is that me? Okay, I'm gonna go. Courtney. James Wade talked about how at the beginning he met with you at a cafe. I'm assuming in Russia when he first found out he was going to be the coach and you were going to have to continue to deal with him all the time. Or if it was elsewhere, please correct me. What got you to kind of buy into him then, and how did you get to that moment now?
This is like, I don't know. I feel like this is the craziest story because I was already bought in because of a conversation I had with this one right here. What do you know what year that was?
Was it All-Star in Seattle?
No, it was in Spain, USA basketball.
Yep.
It was a long time ago, too long ago. Like, and we were in a club. I mean, this is just so, I told her,
Cool.
It's so cool. You guys, it's so special. She was the one that told me about James Wade when we were kind of going through a coaching change, saying this dude is special. You got to tell him. And I told Michael, I'm like, oh, he's Candace Parker told me that we need to hire this guy. And then now she comes to play for him. And the first year we come here to win a championship. I mean, I don't think you can write it better than that. But it all happened. We all bought in. We all believed in each other. We all just, it was awesome. And it was Max and Benny's, by the way, here in Deerfield. It was a good meeting. And and he told us he wasn't taking the job unless me and Allie were going to be here. So that was our time. We committed then and there, and we were like, we're going to stay here because we want to win a championship, and then fast forward, we signed this young lady right here. And I said, young lady. Yeah. You saw her out there tonight. How many minutes do you play? Sheesh. She was awesome. So yes, that's the go around. I'm talking too much. Sorry.
No, you're not.
I've lost control of the room. Next question, second row to your left.
Congratulations to you all. I'm curious if one of you can take me through what it's been like having Chance the Rapper at all these games in the stands and what that means.
He ain't wear my jersey. He wore your jersey.
You
answer this one.
Just not only to this team, but also to the WNBA writ large, to have someone like him just really supporting this league.
It's awesome, just to have him and just even other NBA players come out. The Bulls, the Bears were supporting us. Like everybody was just supporting us. It's just amazing for the city to come together and for us to share that moment with him.
Next question, center in the back.
Courtney. Oh, sorry, Chris Penny. Those last few plays, especially that last stretch when the lead was kind of stuck at 5 for a while, and then you were able to get those back-to-back plays on a screen roll with Steph. It seemed very. It was a moment, being that you two have been here for so long, along with Ka, and it kind of went back to games that you've had where you found Steph on screen rolls for clutch baskets. Can you go through those moments? Was just familiar? Did it feel like the end of a finals game, or did it just feel like moments you'd had before running pick and roll with stuff?
That's a good question. It did feel a little familiar. That's kind of the bread and butter when it gets down the stretch, just to kind of spread it out, dictate where everyone is. We played this team 4 times. We knew their rotations at this point. So we wanted to get a pick and roll going down at BG and try and get Steph. Steph is awesome at that little floater. She has amazing touch, and she's done it a few times. This isn't the first, but it was nice to be able to see her get in there, and it just felt comfortable.
Third row to your right.
Candace, a couple years ago, tough loss in LA. Last year, tough loss. You've been through your share of them, including some tough game 4s. Can you put in perspective what it means to be sitting here now? Because you told me the other day you could have 4 or 5 of these, or you could have none.
Yeah.
And now you have 2.
I think we live in a result-driven world, which is great, because I think the champions, obviously, when you have MJ, who everybody in Chicagoland aspires to be like him, 6 rings. But I just feel like sometimes it's the tough ones that stay the course, and I just was 0-2 in game 4s in the final. And I remember looking at everybody up here and saying, I am 0-2 in game 4s. But I think yesterday I looked at myself and I was like, why? There's a point in the game where it's you got to live with the results, but you got to do it in a way that's aggressive. You can't be passively accepting the other team and what they do. And so I just think that there's growth in those moments that are heartbreak. I remember Sophia Young's shot when it went in. I remember Brittany Garner's turnaround. I remember Maya Moore hitting that shot. I remember every single one of those shots. And I was like, if that's going to be the case, I'm going to go down swinging. Our group's going to go down swinging. We still have to maintain composure. And I think that because of that, some of this was the case this game, I think the heartbreaks hurt, but this one's so sweet. To do it with this group, I love this group. I love this team. And to do it here at home, I mean, it's just it was almost all of those heartbreaks, it was just supposed to be, today. And today was a microcosm. This game was a microcosm of our season. Our season was up and down, and we were down, and then we lost 7, and then we won 7. And then it was just crazy. And I think because of that, it prepared us for this. So game 4, I'm still 1-2. But I'm glad I'm 1-2 with this group.
Next question will come from the back center.
Kahleah, after your rookie season, you're traded. You and Steph are traded to Chicago for Elena Delle Donne. Can you remember what you felt when you found out about that trade? And then to compare that to now, you've brought a championship to Chicago, your finals MVP. That's a remarkable journey.
I think I was overseas. I'll never forget. I was overseas. I was in Belgium, and I kept seeing stuff on Instagram about possible trades, and I'm like, "There's no way it could be me." I don't know how it worked or whatever. And then I saw Coach T calling me and I'm like, damn, it's me. I answered the phone and we had a conversation. We talked about it and I just didn't know what to expect next, you know? I went from being close to home, you know, I also chose Rutgers to be close to home. My family could come to a lot of the games. And I got traded to Chicago. Everything was so new. So I just came in and just tried to, you know, find my way. I came in and just trying to find a role, you know, it didn't play much. So let's do some handshakes. Let's get everybody ready for the game. Let's just try to figure it out, you know, just play your role and just, that's just what I did. And I'm just grateful for my process. I wouldn't change anything. Stay confident, kept preparing myself to meet an opportunity and just to take off from there. So I'm just super humble and just grateful for everything. And I'm happy.
To the right, standing.
Allie, your career got off to a bit of a slow start. I think you're on 4 teams your first 4 years. Come to Chicago and you really found a home. Now,
Stupid.
you know,
4 teams. Wait, 4 teams? Wow.
5 teams in 4 years is what I read. Maybe this guy.
Wow. Wow.
Just reflecting back on that, in 2013, you come to the Sky. I think that might have been around the time you met Courtney as well. Like, sort of like, how did your career sort of take off when you reflect back on it now as a champion and a star?
I mean, I feel like that was, in my mind, it was going to be my last go around. It was like, okay, I'm tired of going to all these different teams and, you know, not playing, and my confidence was down. So I think I just gave everything I had for this last chance because it was home and I wanted it to work so bad. So I think it was just a combination of all my years overseas, you know, gaining confidence, playing against WNBA players and feeling like I really did belong and just waiting for that chance. And, you know, Pokey gave me that chance, especially year 2 in Chicago. She told me, okay, you're first off the bench. Like, I want you to be a big role. And I feel like her belief in me really just, you know, helped me believe in myself. And from there, it just grew.
To the rear on the left, James.
This question's for Ali and Courtney. I mean, to the left, we have one of the greatest facilitators of all time, and then the best shooter in the world right next to her.
Period.
First of all, I'm really upset that you didn't get that last rebound because you needed 1 rebound to get a triple-double. Like, that should be knowledge. Like, you should spread that at the free throw line.
Please.
You hit
Last
2
thing
clutch.
everyone was thinking about in those
Sorry,
last
I'm
minutes.
just saying, like a triple-double in game 4 of the finals. Like, I feel like we should know that. I would have like tipped it and you could have, you know, whatever. Sorry to interrupt your question. My bad.
You got it.
Yes, greatest facilitator ever, greatest shooter. Cool. Continue.
What was the question? I don't know what the question was.
Yeah, well, no.
I interrupted. Sorry.
I mean, you two have been like the 2 pillars of this franchise for so long. Just what does it mean to you to not only do it for the franchise, but also do it as, you know, given your relationship to do this together?
Wasn't that adorable? I think we just together made a commitment to this team and to this franchise because, you know, we did get a taste early what it felt like to be in the finals. Then we got our asses kicked, but we did get that taste, and we knew that if we got the right people, exhibit A and B, that we could be in this moment and it would be special here. You know, we didn't want to go seeking that. We didn't want to go seeking this feeling. We wanted to do it here. And we just knew that we had what it takes. We were just, you know, we just needed a few more pieces and people to believe. And that's exactly what we got. We were able to put it together at the right time. And it's just a really special moment for us 2 individually, but obviously as a franchise.
In the 4th row to your left.
Isla didn't even get to answer. She did it well. It's fine.
Candace, this question's for you. We all saw that special moment with your daughter, you know, you embracing. Can you just explain how special
Who's
that
cutting
was for you?
onions?
Who's cutting onions?
You know, it's crazy. I have a picture of Layla in Minnesota when we first won. And it was in similar fashion where it was like, you know, we didn't know who was going to win. It was dramatic. And she's like yelling, "Mom, we did it." And I have that picture like on my wall in the office. And before I decided to come here, which has been like, it's tough. We're away from each other. We started the season for a month. We're never away from each other. And so I asked her if it was okay if I came to Chicago. And she was like, "I want another picture. Like, I want another picture like that." And it's crazy because like she came out to the court and said, "We did it." And it was just like surreal. I mean, like, she's grown up. I owe everything I am to her. just because she's been my motivation and my reason for everything. And we've gone through this together. Like, you know, like she sacrifices her mom so that I can live my dream. And I just am so thankful for her that she's here for the big moments, but she's also here when I don't want to get up and go work out, you know, or I don't want, like, she sees those moments. And so I just am so just over the moon at how amazing she's grown up to be. And I know I'm partial, but she's an amazing young lady. And I just appreciate her sacrifice and her being here and just everything. So that's what that was.
We have time for just a few questions from Zoom. We're going to start with Pepper Pursley. Pepper, you're going to be followed by Chantel.
Man, Candace, that last answer is about to make me cry. So congrats all of you on the championship. A question for everyone. I often bring the perspective of kids. I was just wondering, what message does this, you all being here today, send to all the kids out there who watch you win today and know that everything this team has overcome?
I think sometimes you don't have to tell your story, time will. And I think that, like, that's something that I've lived by. And I think everybody up here has had that moment where they felt like they have to tell their side of the story. And you don't have to. Like, just put your head down, continue to work, do what's right, be a good person, work hard, give energy, and like the world will give back to you. So I think that's my message with all of this is, like, you don't have to yell from the rooftops who you are or what you do. Like, let time tell, and just enjoy the moment.
All right, we have time for one more question. That'll come from Chantel. Chantel, go ahead.
Hey, I'm actually going to sneak in two. I have a question for Allie and a question for Candace. Candace, quick one. I'm just curious what it was about James that made you suggest him as a coach to Courtney at a club in Spain several years ago. And then
why we have to keep including the club in this? Like, we was just like out there like dancing, and then I was like, yo, James should be the coach. Like, no, I'm just kidding. Honestly, so my first experience with James was overseas. I played for Ekaterinburg, Russia. Olaf and Sandy were actually my coach. So Olaf was the head coach, Sandy was assistant. James came over to kind of help in the Elite Eight, in the final 8. And he just saw the game. Like, you could just tell he was like a disciple of Sandy and Olaf. Like, he just saw the game, like he played the game the way that it was evolving. And I just felt like the way that they play, that's like the perfect coach for them. And so that was kind of what it was, is, you know, I think that he's a good coach and he deserved a shot. And I tried to get him in LA, and he went to Minnesota as an assistant. And I think that's the reason why we lost in 2017, is some of the adjustments that, you know, he made. So, yeah.
Thanks. And then quick question for Allie. Allie, you had said earlier that about a month ago, this team came to a breaking point. You all kind of looked at each other and said, I'm playing for you. What preceded that moment? What led up to that breaking point for the team?
This is our question.
I mean, I think it was just the struggles you saw on the court. It was our inconsistency playing. Obviously saw a 7-game win streak, a 7-game losing streak, and we just didn't know who we were. And I feel like we were frustrated with ourselves, with each other, and it's because we didn't know who we were. And I think, you know, thank God, first game of the playoffs in Dallas, we found who we were, and it was, you know, by the leadership of our coaches and each other, just really buying into our defense and this new way that we all wanted to play and we all believed in. And I think like that was the biggest thing that we all believed in, and we finally figured out who we were as a team.
To our media here in the room and those on Zoom, thank you very much for joining us. That'll conclude.
And I want to say one thing. Sorry. Can I say one more thing? So,
everybody okay? Go ahead.
No, no, I think Kobe and Gigi have meant so much to our league. So the advice I got from Vanessa before the game was play Gigi's way. And I think we've done that. We did that all playoffs. And so I just want to acknowledge like his contribution. And V said, like, if Gigi could play, she would play as hard as she could. And so I think that was huge in our team and just us overcoming everything that came today. So thank you, Vanessa. We love you, Gigi. We love you, Kobe.
Yes.